Nothing is truly, or especially for DPS, right? Especially for DPS, nothing is truly permanent.
Hey guys, MrPokke here, back with another video, and today I have been told that we are going to war. We are going to war with this one. Because ladies and gentlemen, today is Tierlist Day. Today is Tierlist Day. As of last update, the 23rd of October, which is at the time of this recording right now, right? So, let's get into today's content.
Subscribe!
Okay, about the tier list, blah 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 blah, whole of yapping, blah 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 blah. Changelog, boom. Rapa has been added to the tier list. We've also made several. It has begun, guys. It has officially begun. Acheron dropping from tier 0 to tier 0.5. After, what, 6 patches? She is no more. She is officially no more. Despite the release of Jiao Qiu, who made Acheron much better, when comparing Acheron teams to Fei Xiao teams, Acheron falls a bit short. To be clear, Acheron isn't weak, but Fei Xiao has proven she's on another level. Not in just one, but multiple teams allowing her to clear MOC stages effortlessly. Even without her best support Bubbin, you can still use Bronya. If you don't have Topaz, you can use Mose and Harmach. Okay, wait, before we even continue, just want you guys to know, Robin and Bronya, the difference is basically changing from Jiao Qiu to Pella for Acheron, right? They are not the same. Unless you have an E4 Bronya. Against wind-weak enemies, E4 Bronya is actually not too bad. Does give us quite a bit of stacks. But guys, just want, it is the equivalent of Jiao Qiu to Pella, right? That being said, this Topaz option, if you don't have Topaz, I fully agree you can substitute for Mose or Hanmark 7, which is why in my video yapping that I think will be coming in the next couple of days, I specifically mentioned why I believe Topaz value, or rather the age like wine thing or like the fell off thing, she is starting to get there a little bit, because for E0 to E6 Hanmark 7 comparison, I think she's easily replaceable. Which brings down her value from a perspective of a limited 5-star. But that's just me personally, or that's just me personally. Acheron has options as well, but those options aren't as potent as Fei Xiao. On the top end, her best team alongside Jiao Qiu can't reach the heights Fei Xiao can, and on the lower end, Fei Xiao only presses the advantage. The only thing she presses against my... in the future, when and if Acheron receives more teammates, we feel her team ceiling and floor can increase. But currently, Fei Xiao has won the Battle of Supremacy and will be the sole tier 0 for now. TLDR, my wife is the only champion. My wife is the ambassador of Honkai Starbucks. Please fix her. Riot. Okay, anyways, I also noticed a couple of my comments regarding the Topaz that summon meta might be a thing. So for summoned units like Topaz and Nambi, they could see something new in the future, but alas, we are still in version 2.6, and last time I checked, there's no such thing as a summon meta in version 2.6, right? So we are not gonna take that into consideration. Maybe in the future it's summon meta because I'm doing Topaz and go up again, but for now, I feel that if you want to move for Topaz just for follow-up, Han March 7 is completely sufficient and viable to do so, right? Okay, that out of the way. Holy fuck! Changelog has dropped from tier 1 to tier 1.5. Compared to other damage dealers, okay, wait, let me zoom this in a little bit more. Compared to other damage dealers, Changelog didn't receive any new teammates that would allow her to perform at a higher level for quite some time. Furthermore, hitting for 200k was insane back in the day, but when playing the newer and shinier damage dealers, seeing those numbers make you think you built the character wrong. Because of this, her performance in Memory of Chaos continues to drop as her damage output simply isn't enough to deal with the ever-increasing difficulty of Memory of Chaos. No comments. We'll move on. Asilla drop. Okay, so it's basically okay. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed a trend over here, right? Our version 1.0 DPS that set the bar at version 1.0 dropped down by half a tier. Changelog, which allegedly changed the entire landscape of version 1 towards the later half, are dropping by half a tier. And Acheron, the literal DPS that changed everything, has also dropped half a tier. Essentially, everyone in their mount they are getting power crept. Right? There is no such thing as immunity to power creep with your DPS, right? Which we have basically known since day one. If you're playing a turn-based gacha game, it is only a matter of time before a DPS unit falls a flying fuck off. And we have, as of this current moment, seen it right now. Dropping across the board. Across the board. Okay, let's talk about Scylla. HP of enemies continues to increase with every new phase, and even the well-geared Scyllas are starting to struggle to continuously trigger resurgence. The enemies that we are fighting recently also don't help with the core mechanic of Scylla, and both resistance and average performance reflected, so we have decided to drop down by half a tier. I'll also be talking this a little bit more in my future Scylla video, probably making this tomorrow, just some yapping video, where essentially I feel that Scylla, when it comes to vertical investment, she's not really a unit that is tied to relics anymore. She's a unit that is tied to your idolants. When people say vertical investment of Scylla, they don't really mean getting a perfect 40 crit value relic for all 6 relics. It is more so, do you have E2 Sparkle? Do you have E1 Bubbit? That is the vertical investments that places Scylla in the next level compared to other DPS, right? But in any case, let's move on. Kafka and Black Swan dropping down to tier 1.5. Wouldn't that the same for other DPS? Yeah, it works the same for any DPS, but for Scylla specifically, it works better. Think about it this way. For a Jingyuan Lightning Lord mechanic, let's just say your Jingyuan has a E2 Sparkle and E1 Bubbin. It's not going to fundamentally change the fact that your Lightning Lord still goes once a turn, and you couldn't get rid of the full core problem. Whereas for Scylla, as long as your damage is high enough to trigger Resurgence, she can get on to the next threshold of high damage numbers, which is why I say Scylla's vertical investment, she scales better with better items compared to other DPS, right? Okay, but anyways, as I was saying, Kafka Black Swan, tier 1 to tier 1.5. Life is not good for DOT fans. Kafka and Black Swan's damage output isn't good enough anymore, and the DOT procs tickle the enemy rather than doing any meaningful damage. This leads to a big drop in both performance and usage rate in just the last few phases, as there are simply better options to run. They really need a dedicated DOT support to make them viable again. Hoyo, please make... Yo, chat, speaking of making DOT great again, do you guys know that we have this... okay, wait, not this. We have this brand new video where I, myself, has made DOT great again. Where is it? Making DOT great again. The Honky Starbucks DOT 0 cycle, where I alone, the honor one...
what? I
has,
like
Alright, just check out this intro.
Yippee!
Yippee! A 0 cycle DOT. So if you want to know how you can make DOT great again, feel free to check out my video where we make DOT great again. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I think it's not so much DOT support, because frankly speaking, I think Robin is an excellent DOT support. She has damage, she has attack, she has triple AV advance. So I think for DOT is what she's called. I think it's more so of a DOT sustain, or just a stronger DOT in general, or some kind of mechanic that can have super DOT. You get what I'm saying? A super DOT like Super Break would really make it a lot better. Especially when you consider the fact that our enemies nowadays, like Hule, they are what, fucking 240 base speed, 40% speed is at 400 over speed. Nobody in their right minds can stack on Black Swords Arcana. It's just not feasible. So we might need to see another DOT that either can let us stack for longer, stack for stronger, or something that can allow us to trigger the elusive super DOT, which we see in the Simulated Universe Blessing, the one that makes DOT crit, right? And also, respectively, even though Huan Huan is a great DOT support, great DOT sustain with the energy regeneration as well as the attack buff, generally speaking, her synergy is not going to be as high as compared to, let's just say, Ling Sha for break teams and Aventurine for follow-ups. Generally, I feel like Huan Huan is still a more free sustain. She's more free. She has more freedom. She's not specifically tied to a single archetype, which kind of makes her less niche for DOT specifically. So in the future, we can have a DOT support that, or rather sustain, that can apply their own DOTs, or maybe like something that can heal and apply DOT at the same time, or any of those sorts. I think that will also be quite synergistic, right? Anyways, yep, we well, Fuke will make DOT great again. She is a fire nihility. She will do what Jiao Qiu cannot do. So surely, Fuke will make DOT great again, right? Anyways, frankly speaking, who the fuck cares? Nobody's using them, right? Chat type 1, we're using them. Yeah, I thought so. Both shine when the MOC phase features enemies matching their element and the buff which benefits them. Outside of a strong phase here and there, they routinely fade into obscurity shortly later. This fits the definition of a niche category to a T. Because of this, we both view credits. Yep, okay, I think it's complete. Nobody uses them anyway, so we did it. Trailblazer Fire. Oh, she did. Fire MCC is very low play, part of this blah blah, and honestly nobody gives a shit because everyone and their moms out there using Harmony MC, right? So completely fair, it is that. Sparkle to tier 1. Similar to DOTs, the Hyper Carry archetype struggles to compete with break and follow up in the current meta. From the top damage dealers, Sparkle is mainly paired with Yuingli and Acheron, and even there she can be replaced. And outside of them, none of the characters she is played with are considered meta, as they're struggling to... Oh my god, Sparkle is literally the definition of a god tier support. Like your Blitzcrank, Leona, Nautilus, whatever, they're getting like 0, 3, and 30, but your fucking AD carry is just running it down mid lane, playing like a goddamn bruiser. She can't do shit. She has tried. She can't do anything if your AD carry is just running it down like a goddamn maniac, right? So it is what it is. I think I fully agree with this. The Hyper Carry archetype just doesn't have a DPS that can really step up to the pace, or at least they're just not playing like complete garbage human cancer. Okay, anyways, yeah, we are gonna be waiting for one day where Hyper Carry can be brought back into the meta. I don't think it's specifically a support issue. I feel like it's more of a DPS issue. So let's just say Sunday is a Hyper Carry support, which I'm pretty sure 95% he is going to be a Hyper Carry support, right? I don't think Sunday will change the meta on his release, personally speaking. Because Hyper Carry is not the meta. You get what I'm saying? We need a 3.0 DPS to come out that can change the meta and let Sunday pivot into the new meta. He is like the bridge that connects us to the new era instead of the one leading the charge. I hope Chat can understand what I'm saying. So even if, okay, let's just say even if Sunday was introduced to our roster right now, and let's just say he's a Hyper Carry support, it still doesn't really change the fact that follow-up attackers, the follow-up team, the Fart team, as well as the Super Break team, they are still Apex. And your Hyper Carries, like Jing Liu, Imbibitor Lune, Blade, all the they are still not going to be as strong as compared to our tip-top teams, right? So I don't think Sunday will be the end-all be-all. We are waiting for either a Hyper Carry that can change everything, or an entirely new mechanic that is introduced to a Hyper Carry, which I have no idea what it is, right? But that is gonna be my thoughts personally. So Sparkle is an Apex. I think that is also completely fair. Okay. Blade going up by half a tier though. This is the power of Super Blade, ladies and gentlemen. I think Prydwen watched my video the other day and oh my god, Super Blade is insane. Absolutely. Have you guys seen my Super Blade performance with Hule? Editor, if you can find a clip of the Super Blade, just slap it here. If you cannot find, then one bomb. But yeah, Super Blade's average performance in the last few phases surprised us. He is being commonly used in duo DPS teams with Yunli, Fei Xiao, Clara, and Jade. But outside, okay, first of all, who the fuck is running Blade with Yunli, Fei Xiao, Clara? Is this common? This is common? This is common. You're running Blade with Yunli, Fei Xiao, Clara. Blade should be used with Argenti. Oh, okay, my bad. Outside of that, there are even some hyper carry teams using Blade. Okay, Blade with Jade is very, very good, especially in Pure Vision. I think I don't really doubt this. This one, I don't know about that. Blade's damage isn't as good as it was back in the day, but he makes up for it with the frequency of his attacks, which helps with breaking enemies in AoE scenarios. You know what helps with the frequency of attacks in this? So you're saying that Blade is helping us because in a team with Yunli, Fei Xiao, and Clara, he has quite a decent frequency, right? You can hit very quickly. You know what helps with this? Bumpin'! So he's managed to keep his relevancy in the current break follow-up focus meta, and we have decided to raise him up a tier because of that. So we are in a day and age where Blade is the same tier as Jingliu, ladies and gentlemen. That is absolutely diabolical. Imagine that, guys. Blade is the same tier as Jingliu. What's next? Jingyuan is the same tier as Jingliu. Let's see. I mean, if summon meta will be a thing, that might damn well happen, right? Who knows? Okay, anyways, let's move on. Bronya going up by half a tier. With the release of Fei Xiao, has another solid spot in her top tier teams to a portfolio. She has been a top pick for Budio since its release and now also a strong Robin substitute in Fei Xiao team, allowing you to use her in elsewhere or if you don't have her yet. Because of that, we feel she deserves a raise to tier 1. Nah, chat. Stop. Just get Robin. Like legit, just get Robin. Just get Robin, right? Stop thinking, oh, I have a Bronya, therefore I don't need Robin. No. You get Robin now. You get Robin the next time she reruns, or now. Whichever comes first, right? Whichever time you're watching this video, if you're watching this video from like 6 months in the future, now. You get Robin now. Bronya is not really a substitute for Robin, right? That's me personally. But yeah, I think it's fair. Which means Bronya is now in the same tier as Sparkle, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very, very nice to see. Bronya is in the same tier as Sparkle. Beautiful. Let's continue on. Pella is in the same tier as Bronya and Sparkle. Holy fuck. Pella still remains the champion of free-to-plays and new players. She's very universal, easy to build, easy. We've raised to the tier which better showcases how good she is, especially that she's still being commonly played with Acheron after Jiaoqiu release. I think that's pretty fair. Acheron, Jiaoqiu, Pella, I think that's a very, very solid team, especially if you have a resolution for one and an event like one for the other. Very, very solid pick. That being said, I don't really think to use Pella. Okay, you can use Pella with Boot Hill. There was this one spot we used Pella with Boot Hill because he was weak to ice. The dice was very good. There was defense now. I don't really think Firefly with... Oh, Pella is a Ranmei substitute. Oh my god, I'm so right, guys. You're so right, chat. You're so right. Pella is a Ranmei... You know what? My bad. They're both ice. They're both supports. You're absolutely right. Yeah, my bad. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so that is gonna be the update for the tier list. Let's see what this tier list is actually on about, right? Okay, holy shit, that's a lot of zoom. Get this down. Boom, 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 and where the hell is the tier list? Ooh. Acheron in the same fucking tier as Dr. Goddamn Ratio. Holy fuck. That is absolutely insane. Let's just take a look at. We'll go from sustain to damage dealer, because damage dealer is always the spiciest, right? Sustain, I don't even think there was any change at all. Right, there's literally zero change to sustain. Let me correct that right now. This butter bitch can go up. Okay, let's bring this butter bitch up. She is a nasty, nasty woman. And she is, in my opinion, really, really, really good as a sustain. So let's bring this butter bitch up. Next phase. All right, next phase, and there you have it. And there you have it, right? So I'll bring this butter bitch up. Other than that, I probably wouldn't change a lot. You know what? Because I'm thinking, right? The top 3 teams right now, it's Follow Up, Break, and Acheron. And of these top 3 teams, you don't really slot Huan Huan into any of them. With all due respect to Huan Huan. You get what I'm saying? Like, running Huan Huan with Break Team is just cope AF, because you either run Ling Shao or Gallagher, so she's completely off the equation. Running Huan Huan with Follow-Up Team, I mean, it does have the energy, so it does have the heal and the attack buff, so technically it will work. But you're definitely gonna run into skill point issues if you run Huan Huan with your Follow-Up Team. The reason why Adventure is so good is because he can basically almost always just use basic, whereas Huan Huan, you are essentially +1 instead of +3, which means your Fei Xiao and Topaz, unless you use Han March 7th, I don't think you're gonna be able to get enough skill points with that. Topaz would probably wanna slap out the Nambi a little bit more frequently. And then finally for Acheron, actually, you know what? Is Acheron even the top 3 right now? Ooh, I don't know, man. Yikes. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Huan Huan stays because Yun Li loves Huan Huan. Fuck it. Yun Li loves Huan Huan. By the power of Yun Li, Huan Huan stays. If we ever come into a day where fucking Acheron drops below Yun Li, that would be kind of crazy, right? But because of Yun Li, I think Huan Huan can stay because she is in fact best in slot for Yun Li. For Acheron, I was just about to say Huan Huan also doesn't really like with Acheron because Acheron completely doesn't use the energy regeneration, and the supports like Jiao Qiu also doesn't really face a lot of energy issues, and she's not a preservation sustain, which means she can't use Trend of Universal Market. So like the top 3, quote unquote top 3, she's not really the best in slot sustain for any of those, except for Yun Li, right? So if Yun Li is gonna be the brand new top 3, I think Huan Huan can stay, right? Other than that, no change. Yo, Prydwen, bring up Balu. Bring up Balu. Bitch is way too low. Swap her ass back with Japart, or at least there's no world this bitch is still here. Balu needs to go up. Also, Lynx is way too fucking high. Me personally, I will stay for every single tier list. I will say the same thing every single time. Balu and Japart needs to be either the same tier or higher than Lynx. Lynx sustain is just not it. It's very, very, very uncomfortable. You either don't have enough skill points or the heal is just not enough compared to especially Balu, the revive. Try running Balu with Hule. You'll see that the invigoration procs a lot. Very, very comfortable, by the way. Off element. Alright, so that's me personally. Other than that, nobody uses this, so done. Tier 0, no change. Tier 0.5, Sparkle drop down to be in the same tier as Bronyas, Pella, and Tingyun. I think the rationale for dropping down Sparkle is very, very valid. Hypercarry is in fact not really in a good spot right now. And the ones that are still in like quote unquote apex, their team comms are just in a very, very good spot, generally speaking, right? And still, by the way, for Jiao Qiu, if you don't have Acheron, I think it's just not worth it. And I still stand by this, by the way. You can run Jiao with other teams, but he's literally always like a downgrade or a side grade, right? For DOT, you can run Rame or Bubbin. For your Argenti, you can run Rame or Bubbin. For your whatever team you think of, or Yingli with the ultimate damage, you can run it with Bubbin or whatever team you can think of Jiao, Bubbin does it better. So his only best in slot, actual best in slot, is Acheron, and I'll still stand by this. In any case, I feel like at E0 Bronya. Okay, I don't know. I feel that my Bronya is slightly unrelatable at E4. I think she's great. But even at E4, the bitch doesn't want to fucking proc the extra skill point at 50% trigger rate for the E1. And because of that, I have to end my runs. I just don't have enough skill points. I cannot imagine running an E0 Bronya, especially if you don't have at least a hyperspeed build. If you don't have the 3 turns action with the EAA, or rather AEE. It's just not enough. You just have to get better. You just have to get better to proc his more. Just don't feel the 50-50. Yeah, and we're talking about the E1. We're talking about the E1, alright? So I feel that E0 to E0. Anywhere you will run Bronya, I feel that you can run Sparkle. So Bronya Blade, if you use Sparkle, you get the crit damage buff for like throughout his follow-up attack. Unless you have an E6 Bronya, right? If you have an E6 Bronya, this thing doesn't really matter. I feel like the only one that really makes a lot of sense right now is probably Boot Hill. Because Boot Hill is very tight with his action value, right? You really want that 100% action value, and Sparkle doesn't really. Boot Hill doesn't give a shit about Sparkle. Anyways, right? Bronya does help Boot Hill by quite a bit, and it is a very considerable upgrade compared to Sparkle in this specific case. For Fei Xiao, I feel like Sparkle can still be a very, very good, if not even better alternative than Bronya for Fei Xiao. Just because the buff is applied beyond that first turn. So in a scenario where if you use your Bronya to buff your Fei Xiao, right? And your Fei Xiao didn't have enough stacks to cast the ultimate. And let's just say you had enough stacks from outside of Fei Xiao's turn. From your Han March 7, for your Adventuring hits, all that kind of stuff. Then Fei Xiao's ultimate would get 0 buffs. 0, nothing. Unless you have a Bronya ultimate. So in that very specific scenario, Sparkle's buff actually carries out throughout the entire uptime for Fei Xiao. Not to mention the Terran trigger is also carried out by Sparkle's buffs, right? Sparkle doesn't give Fei Xiao more turns, Bronya does. I feel like it's just not sustainable. You are perma-skilling with Bronya, right? At E0. So if you're perma-skilling with both Fei Xiao Bronya, it's -2 every single time you go up. So if you don't have Aventurine and you are running... I don't think Han March 7th alone is enough to... Even if you have Han March 7th plus Aventurine, it might not be enough to cover throughout the entire fight. Because sometimes you might need a... it's sustainable because they're dead. Then why not just run no sustain? Why not just run sustain Bubbin? Sustain Bubbin. It's sustainable because they're dead. You get what I'm saying? But I feel that generally speaking, this is not sustainable at E0 for Fei Xiao. And I think Sparkle can do the job a little bit better. But yeah, that's just me personally. Feel free to agree or disagree, because this is just my personal opinion. I mean, neither of these even come close to Bubbin. So there's really not too much to discuss over here. But between these two, I'm just talking about Fei Xiao specifically, right? I probably would prefer my E0 Sparkle to my E0 Bronya. Assuming they're both probably running Duns and Suns. So no signature like Duns and Suns, E0 to E0. Me personally, I probably prefer this. But leave your thoughts down in the comments below. So that is gonna be me. Pella going up. Actually, why did Pella go up? I feel like I would understand if Pella went up last MOC, because last MOC was Aventurine and she was very, very good for Aventurine. She served the dice mechanic very well, dealt toughness bar damage. This MOC rotation, I don't even think she changes anything. Me personally. I felt like she could have went up last patch and then maintained, but going up here is a little bit weird. No enemies now have Ice Week, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think any enemies have Ice Week for MOC 12. Hule is also moving extremely quickly. So any kinds of debuff you apply to Hule, it's just gonna disappear like that, right? The debuff doesn't cover fast enough because Hule is just way too fucking fast. So you would prefer buffers instead of debuffers for the Hule stage. And then for the first half of Memory of Chaos 12 is the Choir, right? The Choir, if you're running Super Break team, Super Break doesn't really get... I swear to fucking God, if someone says Pella is a substitute to run me, go stand in the fucking corner, okay? Stand in the goddamn corner if you think Pella is a substitute for Rami. But in any case, I feel like we don't really need to move Pella up. Me personally. If anything, we can bring Silver Wolf down. But if we bring Silver Wolf down, it's like Silver Wolf being the same tier as R-Star and Gwen Ivan is crazy. The tier list is taken into account the last 3 phases, not the current one. Okay, you know what? That's fair then. Okay, you know what? Fine. With the whole Aventurine stuff being... She's just a extremely good debuffer specifically for the Aventurine boss fight. So, I think that's fair enough. Pella is a substitute to Rami, and there's... Ting Yun... She is very good because of 2 units. And both units are physical. So I guess you could say she's physically attracted to them. I just had an unk joke there, right? Unk joke. Yeah, so Yun Li and Babin, they are both very good with Ting Yun as a synergy. So I think her being here is completely fine, especially if you're a Yun Li user. She's very good. If you run her with Dr. Rachel, we're gonna get into this a little bit later because this bitch being here is a little bit. But she's also kind of good with Dr. Rachel if you don't want to run her with Babin, the classic traditional Dr. Rachel follow-up hyper carry. So yep, that's pretty much it. We'll wait and see what Fuke has to offer. What is she gonna bring to the table? I don't expect her to be here very long, to be completely honest. Unless they make follow-up upgrade again. I don't expect her to be here very long. Alright, anyways, tier 1.5 and everything else doesn't really have any change. Oh, Yukong died. One bomb, who cares? I feel like this bitch can go down. Who is using Gwen Ivan as a support? Like, genuinely. What? I just feel like no one uses her as a support. Me? Alright, now my chat just lying for fun. Yeah, I just don't think she needs to be here. She needs to go down. I think Hanya honestly can swap places with Gwen Ivan. Hanya can go up, Gwen Ivan can go down. Asa and Hanya be the same tier, that's fine. Silver Wolf, I feel like she's super break Gwen Ivan for those... Super break Gwen Ivan for those who don't have Firefly and Himiko. Then you can drop her ass to a specialist. You can drop Gwen Ivan to specialist, right? Hey, wrap it up from there. Anyways, Silver Wolf, I have no words. I will honestly put like a fraud watch right here. I feel like she's gonna be going down very soon. Right? Also, she's probably gonna be that. Anyways, other than that, not too much to talk about for the Amplifier anymore. Specialist. No change aside from the brand new addition of Rappa being a tier 1 in Memory of Chaos. In my opinion, it's completely fucking crazy. Because this Memory of Chaos is designed perfectly for Rappa. If there was a single Memory of Chaos that Rappa can be in tier 0, is this Memory of Chaos. So her coming out to Memory of Chaos at tier 1, in my opinion, is diabolically wrong. Alright? The Memory of Chaos buff, the Exo Toughness, the Choir, it is perfect for Rappa. So I don't know why she's in tier 1 on release. If anything, she needs to be in tier 0. She is tier 0, and then you add a fraud watch to her name. Adding on to the quote, if Exo Toughness is not a mechanic in the future, she will fall down so fucking hard. But for now, she's... If we put her in tier 0 because Exo Toughness, then drop her next to tier 1, it's gonna be false advertisement. That's why... Isn't that why we had the fraud watch? And also... What if Exo Toughness becomes a thing? Then it wouldn't really be false advertisement, would it? You know, food for thought. Me personally, I would rather put it up here and have a icon, and then just say she performs extremely well in this rotation as well as the Exo Toughness mechanic. And if in the future we get Exo Toughness, she will still be very good. Okay, maybe tier 0.5 because she doesn't have the... weakness implant, which can be quite rough. But I just feel that for this specific Memory of Chaos, she needs to go up. So this is a little bit way too low for me. Other than that, DOT is now officially gonna be in the same tier as Jingyuan soon. That's crazy. Do you guys remember when Kafka first came out and everyone was just, oh my god, Kafka is like so much better. Imagine putting for Jingyuan when you have a DOT and now we are gonna be reaching to the point where Kafka is gonna be in the same tier as Jingyuan. And touch wood, if we have a summon meta, boy is gonna rise up. Boy is rising up. If touch wood we have a summon meta, I cannot imagine the absolute diabolical radioactive fallout that's gonna happen if Jingyuan actually goes on to a higher tier than Jingliu. That would be absolutely diabolical. But okay, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. DOT, I feel like we've made like, what, 2 different videos by now about DOT and why they are like dying. Don't really have too much to talk about. They need a support. They need a sustain. They need help. Save us. Hail Dawi. Save DOT. Save DOT. Right? So, not too much to do. Everything else going down, blah, 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 blah. Alright, completely fine. Nothing much about. Alright, finally. The juiciest out of every single category. I'm just going to zoom in real quick so that we can kind of ignore everything. Can we zoom in? The category of war. The category of war. Let me bring this out a little bit more so you can see this as well, right? The category of war. Damage dealers. Acheron has fell to tier 0.5. Now, I don't know if this is a coincidence. Wait, am I blind? Oh my god, I just make so many videos because I'm a goddamn. Will Acheron fall off 8 days ago? It probably won't happen. Yeah, it probably won't happen, not gonna lie. Yeah, it probably won't happen. Happen 8 days later. Oh my fucking god. Alright, let's talk about the elephant in the room, yeah? Acheron has fell off. So Prydwen, in their infinite wisdom, has actually placed Acheron in the same tier as Dr. fucking Ratio and Yunli. Yunli, I honestly understand. Yunli, I honestly understand. She is very, very good. And still to this day, the only unit that I kind of regret not pulling for. She is very, very good. I really, really like Yunli. She is the roided version of Kelala. But, why is bro still here? Why is Dr. Ratio at E0S0 still here? You just hate math? No, I hate men. I just hate men, right? I think all men should automatically not be in Apex. I'ma keep it about. Like, who the fuck are these buddies? Okay, Avenger is great because he's fruity. Jiaoju is okay because he's a fox. Budo is okay because he's American. Bro needs to go down. You know, bro just needs to go down. Because he's a dude, right? Okay, but Deadass. Why is Dr. Ratio not even a consideration for the fraud watch? Ratio is not dropping to tier 1 is bullshit when they blah 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 blah. Blood is Asian. What about Gallagher? Gallagher is completely fine. Gallagher he has a beard. He should go to tier 1. Exactly, right? I feel that we really missed a big it's a pretty big oversight in my opinion. If he's not going down, at least give him a little icon. He's on the internal fraud watch. Okay. Because if bro doesn't go down by next MOC, Prydwen is getting cancelled. There's gonna be fucking trucks parking outside of Prydwen's headquarters. Free Acheron, free my wife, death to daughter ratio, death to it's gonna happen really, really soon. So bro, at least needs to be having the eye icon over here, and he needs to go down eventually. Cause this being the same tier is a little bit, frankly speaking, kind of fucking crazy. A free unit from version 1 being the same tier as goddamn Acheron is a little bit crazy. It's a little bit. Issue is if Dale goes down, Dale has to go down, force to then just go down. It's fine. I already farmed the fuck off in Build Donate. At this point, if your E2 Dale is not E2 Dale, then just it is what it is, right? Anyways, Acheron. I think we all know that Fei Xiao just does way too much damage. Right? She does a lot of damage. So she does, in that sense, outperform. Not because of the kit. Like there's nothing inherently wrong with their kits. They both have pretty similar multipliers. It's just the synergy they have in their team comp. They are to varying degrees. The follow-up team comp with Fei Xiao, Bublin, Aventurine, and Topaz is just way more synergistic compared to Acheron, which currently technically still lacks a slot 3 and dedicated sustain. You could argue Aventurine is a pretty good sustain for Acheron because you can run Trend, but Acheron doesn't really give a shit about the follow-ups. You get what I'm saying? So all his follow-ups, the only time Aventurine can apply the debuff is during the ultimate or if you run Trend. So if we get another sustain that can apply debuffs at a good pace, I think that will be very nice. I think that will be very nice. And also, slot 3, we have a Xiaoqiu. Excellent. You either run her with Pella now, or I guess Silver Wolf for like single target, I guess, or Sparkle. And none of them are really as synergistic as compared to, in my opinion, the whole archetype of follow-up team comp. Oh yeah, and Trend doesn't work with Jiaoqiu. You're absolutely right. They clash. Trend literally clashes. So we need a preservation sustain that can apply a debuff that doesn't clash with Jiaoqiu. You're absolutely fucking right, yeah. So, not to say Acheron fell off. It's just Fei Xiao rose up. Blood is rising up, right? She kind of just rose up a little bit too high. So it looks like she fell off. It should look more like this but bitch just went up and up. Went on the up and up, right? So I think she could still go up if we get a dedicated support and sustain. Fei Xiao team, on the other hand, she is more or less complete. I find it very hard to further improve on Fei Xiao's team right now. Topaz has 50% follow-up damage vulnerability. If you get an E1, it's another 50% crit damage. Synergy Lycon is also additional crit damage. So the overall room for improvement of Fei Xiao is pretty much almost there. Whereas Acheron still has room to grow. Bro needs to Bankai, right? Bro needs to Bankai. Bro needs to activate his plus ultra and pop off. And then, and only then, she could go up. But seeing as how the current meta is on Super Rig, Sunday probably, I don't know, is Fuke gonna be an Acheron support? I mean, if Fuke becomes an Acheron support, I think that could be very good. And then for 3.0 going onwards, I have no idea what they're gonna release, so it really depends on who is gonna join the team Acheron, right? So those are my thoughts as to why Acheron, in my opinion, not really fell off, but it's just not in the same tier as Fei Xiao anymore. And I think it is what it is. This bitch needs to go down. Done. Yun Li, done. Alright, anyways, aside from that, Blade is now the same tier as Jing Liu. And Scylla is now the same tier as Jing Yuan and QQ. Big changes. Big changes. I feel like at this point, anyone that is not follow-up Super Break, Acheron or Yun Li, they are basically just fighting for scraps at this point. This is like the lower class citizens that couldn't really afford the the business class on the counter. This is like the one flying Scoot, the one flying the budget airlines, right? This is the budget airline. So at this point, it doesn't really. At the end of the day, though, it is just a little bit unfortunate that Jingliu can't really scale. I don't know how do we make Jingliu scale. Like her scaling, she's like a Lee Sin. She popped off all the way up to level 6, and then afterwards she's on a slow decline. Alright? She basically peaked. And it's a little bit hard to kind of think of a way to make her peak again and go further and beyond. She has no summons, she has no follow-ups, her buffs are on the internal timer for an ultimate, which is based on, it's counterintuitive because the more turns you give her, the faster she expires. We can kind of fix her energy problem with Ting and Huan, but it's not quite enough to maintain the uptime, especially against bosses that can stall for a very long time. Whereas on the other hand, Blade, it is more reactive to the environment, right? The more he gets, the more follow-up he gets. If you get more follow-up supports, he can scale. Some kind of healer that can make him deal damage like Jade can also scale with that. I mean, he's the only one of his kind. Both of them, that means right, both of them, I don't think they are really that great, right? I think this is a decent gap between the Apex and Meta. Honestly, at this point, it's like I think the description for Meta needs to change a little bit. Because characters in this bracket make clearing Memory of Chaos and Pure Vision a breeze. I don't think you are clearing Memory of Chaos with a breeze anymore. Especially at E0 S0. Keep in mind, this is E0 S0, right? I really don't think it's a breeze. It's more like a strong gust. A strong gust of wind, right? And then this one is a fucking tornado. And this one is you just don't ever leave house, right? So this is a strong gust of wind, right? This is a breeze. So probably need to change a little bit. We'll see if the next Memory of Chaos cycle can get us another Ice Weak enemy. Because the last time we got an Ice Weak enemy running E0 Jingliu against Aventurine, she also didn't really pop off that hard because she just stalled way too long. Which just ate up her bars, right? Ate up her ultimate counter. So next enemy, we'll see if she can perform. But if we get enemies that are like, more in numbers, right? If we have more mobs, if we have the the monkey, because we have seen the monkey enemies from the live stream, right? The one with one big monkey and 5 small monkeys, those kind of scenarios will unironically benefit Blade more since they can hit Blade more frequently. So it will really depend on the environment at this point, and I think at this point, it is what it is. Now, first of all, bro needs to go the fuck down. Okay? I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Bro needs to go the fuck down. Second of all, Jingyuan Sela Himeko. I'ma keep it a buck. Himeko, I feel like at this point, she can honestly go into specialist. Because the only time you will ever use Himeko is if there's fire weakness. If you cannot break, you don't use Himeko, period. And if you are going to be using Himeko against an enemy with fire weakness, you are going to be running her in Super Break. You are going to be running Firefly, you're going to be running Rame, you're going to be running Hammer, and she's going to deal 1 billion damage, right? Link shot, all that. So by that regard, I don't really consider Himeko to be a crit DPS anymore. I would never run her off element, crit DPS Himeko off element. And if I were to run her on element, Super Break Himeko is actually a legitimate thing. So I will honestly consider bringing this up to tier 1 under specialist. That's me personally. So with that aside, Jingyuan Sela Qingque. Super Break Jingyuan is I mean, technically it could work, right? I mean, we have seen Super Break Jingyuan work before. Technically it can work. But I would say it's not that great. Because Lightning Lord just moves a little bit too infrequently, right? Bro moves once a patch. I will say though, if summon meta were to legitimately be a thing in the future, and we can somehow gain a support that can buff summons exclusively, I think the unit that will gain a substantial improvement in performance will probably be Jingyuan. He is our first ever summon, and I'm not sure if you guys know, Jingyuan's summon has the highest multiplier in the entire game. It is not even close, by the way. Compared to Nambi, compared to Fu Yuan, it is by miles ahead. So because his base is so high, we could see some very, very interesting shifts if summon meta were to be a thing. But for now, I think it is just a little bit unfortunate that the Scylla has dropped off here. I'll legitimately make a separate video about Scylla specifically as to why I think she's at where she is today. But yep, the only thing I'll change is bring this but a bitch down, bring this but a bitch to specialist. Boom, done. Argenti, no one uses her. No one uses him except for Sarah, so nobody talks about him. Other than that, I think we are pretty much good to go, right? I think we are pretty much good to go. Let's end this video. This is a 50-minute video. Holy fucking nuclear farming. With that, we have come to the end of the war tier list. This is war. This is war. Okay, anyways, with that, come to the end of the war tier list in the latest Memory of Chaos update. Word of the day is gonna be, I'm not sure if you can ever type this, cat war. Join Twitch, join YouTube, join Discord, join Twitter, and join TikTok. All the best for our gacha pools, all the best for your wrap-up pools, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.